It took me years to understand this. So that's why for me it was mind blowing. It's like, for me, it literally, I give credit.
By yourself, you mean?
Pardon me?
It took years by yourself, you mean?
By myself, exactly.
The reason I can say that is because it was the same for me as well. So
yeah.
what were the beliefs, or like what were some of the, let's call it maybe even limiting beliefs, that made you think, okay, so I'm interested in property, but you never made any moves before that? You never thought it was like, could be realistic for you, or it'd be something that you could do? So just like, what's bullet point a few beliefs that were coming up?
The way property is done through, well, no money down, it's a scam. So that's the very first thing that came into my mind when I was listening to you and Trisha say, you know, like, no money down, blah, blah, we help your investors and so on and so on and so on. I was like, nope, I'm not gonna go to prison, mate. I'm not gonna do that. But, you know, it's actually what I'm doing. So that was the very first belief that I had. Second is, oh my God, what was it? Yeah, I don't need, what was it? I don't need others to achieve what I want. Or there was something I was thinking was, why do I need somebody else to tell me what I need out of my life? So I'm quite of a strong character when it comes down to knowing what I want. So I would never let anybody take a decision for myself, never. And then, you know, it's like, oh, you can do this, you can do that. I was like, yeah, you know, I know, let me find out. I don't need it. I don't need you. I don't need anybody. I can do that. And that was me before. So discovering all of a sudden there's people out there that are actually willing to help out. This is crazy. I mean, like, I really think and believe lots of more people should know about all of this. Loads of more people. It's denying an opportunity to other people to actually develop and evolve into a life that they want to build. I get to stay home now. I can go and pick up my son, come back, pick him up. This is priceless. This is what matters. It's not about the money. It's never been about money, but it's about the freedom of choice, the freedom of, you know, doing what you like.
Which the money brings.
Yeah, we will get to that later anyway. We will get to that later.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So do you have any beliefs prior to that, before you even heard anything, you know, that me or Trisha or anybody else in the marketplace said? Did you have any other beliefs like before?
One of the biggest thing was it comes from looking at the way I grew up. So I'm the fifth of 15. So I do have 14 siblings.
Wow.
Yeah, big family. So we never missed anything. So it's something that I give credit to both my parents. And I can only see that now. We never missed anything, but I still remember a conversation, for example, with my dad when we were driving around or going someplace. It was like, you know, work, and then you can build. And then if you want to buy something, you need to wait to have the money. I used to do that. If I wouldn't buy something if I wouldn't have the money. Credit cards, oh my God, I wouldn't sleep. I still remember the first time I had my credit card, like ages ago, like, yeah, 6-7 years ago. I've used it for the first time. I paid, I was building my credit, so I used to pay the transport on a weekly basis. It was like $49.50, and I used to pay by credit card, and then literally 10 seconds later, I was on my bank account transferring money. I was panicking. I was like, oh my God. So my father used to say, like, you know, stay away from credit cards. You don't know how to use them. He's gonna destroy you. So that's the fear of the environment that I grew up with. There is also the lack of money to an extent, you know, the holidays, or, you know, I still remember when we were young, we were going around like mountains and so on. Not mountains, but forests. I don't know. I was too young to bother about nature back in the day. But it's, they all ended up. They all finished. I didn't have them no more. So the way my brain connected it to is, since I don't spend the time for those, you know, cherish those moments with my family, and they are not happening anymore, is because of the money. So seeing also, like, you know, it's I'm gonna be real here, if it's okay. I mean, like, loads of family are fighting over money. You know, you can have that dinner or conversation, and one of the parents might come up saying, hey, you know, I haven't paid the bill for like 3 days. This to the ear of a child or a kid growing up, becoming a man, is a massive change in the way they see, or I see, or I relate to money. So that was the biggest change. Or even talking to the brothers, hey, how you doing? Oh, you know, still no money. Oh, making it, not making it. Christmases, yeah, it's this is the belief around. But I think we're gonna go deeper in that in a short while for sure.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, because you know, some people even I see your Christmas tree right there, and people, you know, open conversation. You mentioned Christmas. I mean, I don't know about you, but I was putting my decorations up at the back end of October, and I've been listening to Christmas music in August. And I think it's me rebelling against like what you're talking about. When I was a kid, I was hearing about all of that, you know, oh, it's Christmas again. Oh, how are we going to get all the presents? And my own parents used to even say that and say, I don't know how we're going to get the presents. I was like, don't worry, Santa brings the presents.
There's 15 of us.
You got nothing to worry about. So I was hearing all that. So I think my, you know, love for the Christmas spirit and just life in general is part of rebelling all of that, you know, what I didn't have.
I'm with you.
When I was a kid. So at the end of the day, what we're talking about now is your transformation and how you came through and all of these beliefs. And I hope, you know, if we just touch one life and someone else, you know, someone just gets a little bit of an insight to go on and make a move in their life based on what you've said, job done. The more people, the better. So, hey, more comments, more likes, more you subscribe, the more this video is going to get pushed out. Then you guys do that just so we can, you know, inspire more people with what Sam is doing here. So let's talk facts, figures, stats. Let's talk about money. So we talked about all these challenges, ups and downs, and I'm sure there's many more that we could be, you know, discussing. But like after you got through all of that, what we got to do? What happened? What was your journey like? What's your first property? How do you get your first deal? And then how do you get the momentum going?
Yeah. So, well, I've lost, before I get to this point, some of the challenges, I've lost about 6 or 7 deals in a row. So I didn't know what the hell was happening. What was I doing wrong? I again, the mindset, the way I used to be just came back saying like, you know, I knew, what was I thinking? Why did I get into that? So the very first step that I always suggest to everybody that when I give my experience is to get yourself a coach. This is extremely, extremely important. I don't believe anybody that would say, this is my experience, yeah? Or I don't believe anybody that could say, you know, I can do everything on my own. It's not such a thing. You need a coach. I needed a coach. So very first thing that happened is I took on, 2 service accommodation units within 2 weeks, one from each other. So fast forward from this summer, whatever each is, one rent HMO in Leicester. There's a 7 beds that currently it is running 100% occupancy, which is a massive victory. This is cash flowing about, just short of £1,200 net per month. Then we got 4 more service accommodation units. This is all spread out across the whole UK. So we got location in Kent, we got Manchester, Nottingham, and the likes of it. And at the moment, I'm also working on 3 HMO projects. This is proper purchase of our own properties just to build up the portfolio. And once everything will be coming up and falling through, we'll be looking at a cash flow in the area of about £5,000 net per month. So
awesome. So
6 months.
6 months. That's awesome. I mean, some people would love to be able to do that. But you just mentioned like you're all around the country. Yeah, so some people, they always ask me the question, oh yeah, but it's okay for you, Mark, because you live in the Midlands, and Midlands is a good area to invest. And I'm like,
I used to say that the same.
I'm only investing. I mean, I started investing there, and there are so many deals that, you know, why do I need to go anywhere else? But actually, just give us some of your tips. How did you diversify? How do you get over them? I think the biggest thing is in the mind. You know, to say, wow, I'm gonna invest in somewhere that's, you know, miles away. What? You know.
How do you do that? No, I completely understand that, because it's the same thing. When I first started, I was looking at other people's successes and the way they were doing it. And because bear in mind, I didn't know anything. So property for me was something like in the back of my head, read a few books about it, but never actually took the step. So I said, okay, I'm based in London. I don't have the amount of capital that I need to commit to all these deals. But instead of focusing on what I didn't have, I focused on what I had. So I had lots of skills when it comes down to people skills. so I can network, I can build a team. And that's for me is the most important tip or message to take away from this. And we can explain in more details even later on, but effectively is to be able to build a power team around you. So for example, we invest in the Midlands. So the very first thing that I needed to do is to join venture. So I can find the deal, I can find the people, I can put everything all in that together. I can do the whole legwork from start to finish, but I need the person on the ground. So joint venturing with somebody that is on the ground, that is also able to help me see what I miss perhaps, or bring over a bit more experience that I have as well. That goes both ways. So power team is a must-have, must-have. Again, relationship with agencies. So always have, I can be in London or I can be in Bali or anywhere in the world, and I still have a ear on the ground of what's going on in my area. So this one is only when you actually understand your limits and how do you leverage what you're good at. Does it make sense? Or
yeah, of course it makes sense to me. We've got people investing all over the country. We've got people in the rest of Europe investing in the UK. We've got people who lived in the UK who have moved out of the UK and still building, managing, running all of their business. So I absolutely get it. So just give us the lowdown. So what's the portfolio at the minute? What you got some accommodations, you got rent to rents. Give us some stats on that.
Yeah, so overall, across the whole rent-to-rent side of the business, we're pulling just over 2,000 net. Yeah, just over 2,000 net. That's once everything is up and running, 100% occupancy, 90, 95 at the moment.
What's that made up of? Like essays?
Yes, so that would be, it's actually 4 service accommodations apartment. One is an upside down townhouse, which is marvelous to be seen. I'll put some pictures around. But I was journal it anyway. Another one is a rent-to-rent HMO in Leicester. And then we got 3 more, and that's on the rent-to-rent side. Then I'm working on and completing on 2 HMO, effectively January and February coming up this year, 2021. And working on a third 7 beds HMO. So once everything would be finalized or is finalized, or give it a take 6, 7 or max 9 months, it will be cash flowing about in the area of £5,000 net per month. Obviously happy joint ventures, happy partners, happy investors as well. Up until today, I've raised just short of 200, nearly £250,000 raised on the deals. Again, following my responsibilities and roles in our joint venture partnerships. That's what I do. So find the deal, raise the funds, or it works both ways.
So you raised nearly £250,000 in private investor finance. Yeah, just very quickly touch on, because I remember you saying one time, not raising finance, this is no good, this can't be done.
6 or 7 deals. Yeah, I lost 6 or 7 deals because I couldn't find it. I was desperate. I didn't know what I was doing. But effectively, you say that a lot yourself, is finding out what people want and giving it to them. So this is the minute it hits you. There is a penny drop moment. You can hear the same. You can say one thing, and it means something. But when I say that, when I realize it, it means everything. So understanding the true meaning of finding what people want and giving it to them, it just opens up for more. The sky is not the limit. So I remember the very first thing that I used to do when I was talking to investors, it was they could smell the desperation. It's like, oh, I really need it. Effectively, an investor back in the day, or even now, they're not making people a favor. It's not out of, it's not a handout. And the moment that I understood that I'm actually helping them as well, reaching their own goals through finance, or involving them in a project, something they've never done before, for example, is an exchange of value. So once you clearly see that, what is stopping you? Investors, when people, at the beginning I was like, oh, an investor. I remember I was having, oh my God, it was like an interview. I was sweating. I was like panicking. Relax. It's another person. It's another human being. They want something. Am I in the position to help them out? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So get in touch and I'll help you out. It only takes, 10, 15 minutes, have a chat, build a rapport, build a relationship. And you would say, like, for me, it worked out beautifully and still counting. So yeah, £250,000 raised finally after going through so many struggles and setbacks. I still remember our conversation. Where was it back? Yeah, it was back in April or May. Since then, it's just like, it's gone up. Awesome. And then achieving all of this during a worldwide pandemic, 2 lockdowns, lost my job. The family is like, oh my God, what's going on? I kept it cool. So I kept it focused. There's a big routine there. You know, it's mega. It's absolutely mega. It's fantastic. I couldn't be happier. I couldn't be more grateful for, you guys, people that are around me, my network, my partners, my investors. Couldn't be more grateful than that.
Excellent. So if you were to give someone, like, just, hey, listen, you got a chance now, put your message out there, give people the inspiration to go and do what it is that they're supposed to do in life, whatever vehicle they're going to choose, whether it's property or whatever else, what's your advice to them?
That's a very, very good question. We could talk forever, but the very first question I would say is, find your reason why. You gotta know your outcome. Otherwise, you're not setting up yourself for success. If you start doing something, pretending to know that you know where you're going, you gotta be honest with yourself. That's what I've done. I needed to be honest with myself. I put down a piece of paper. I wrote down everything that I wasn't happy about or with, and I wrote down what is it that I need to do. Like, clear, decisive actions. Clear actions there. At the end of the day, is a must. The should would need to become a must. So you must know what you want. Get to outcomes. And it doesn't need to be property. Again, as you said, it's a vehicle. But if you don't know your purpose, if you don't know where you're going, you don't know why or how or ways of contributing or giving back, how do you wanna evolve? So this is something that I understood just lately. So you can go on my Facebook, for example, you see every now and then I put out a post saying, hey, this is my mission, is to inspire, motivate, and empower people to actually build an abundance life in all aspects of their lives. So how can I do that? First of all, I'm gonna offer, what I know. If you wanna jump on property, you've never done it before, just, ping me a message and we can have a chat, we can have a strategy call, see how can I help you. I'll introduce you to my network, and potentially you can do what I've actually achieved, if not even more, without comparing to each other. But again, have the strategy call. You could see it's all about honest. I'm being honest and straightforward in what I do and what I say. I don't beat around the bushes in a way. But know your outcome. Know your outcome. Don't worry. Don't focus too much on how you're gonna do that. Because things organically, believe it or not, they'll unveil in front of, I don't know,
it is the advice, and it is the thing that probably people have heard many, many times, but just like you, being told that it's not, it means one thing, but when it's discovered, when people discover it. So there is a process to go through. There is a practice, there are principles, there are steps to follow to get everything in place so this all comes together. So I got one very, very important question before we sign off on here, because we can never, ever, ever forget, let people forget this. And that is that they must do the right thing for the right reason. Now, why is that?
Do the right things for the right reason, because that's the only way you discover your true potential.
That's correct, people. Someone's been watching the videos. Good job. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to subscribe on this channel. Leave your comments, questions. Sam would love to answer them. Ask him anything. Go check him out on Facebook. Go check the rest of the Real Life Tribe out. See what they are doing. We will see you here for another episode very soon.
Bye, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Woo-hoo!